Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kathy, and I wanted to do a very quick live and share with you a couple of tips that I have learned about ways to disguise our age. I'm 71 years old. I'm not trying to look like a 20-year-old. I can't turn back the hands of time that much. I'd love to, but I can't. But there are a couple of things that we can do to help make ourselves not look as much of our age as what we are. The first thing, I'm going to zoom in, and I want you to look at this eye, and I want you to look at this eye. Is there anything you can tell a difference? Because it's one thing, I'm looking for my bottle here, it is one thing that you see almost immediately when you look at an older person. And it is that the whites of our eyes are not as white as what they used to be. So this is my little trick. I buy it in a 2-pack at Costco. Not inexpensive, but it takes a drop. I put this drop in 5 minutes ago, and it completely removed all of the redness. So let me open up. Can you see? Let me see if I can point with my brush. Can you see the redness in here close to my nose? And it's gone on that side. So just a quick little trick, but when you want to look your best, and you're going out for an event or you're going out with friends and you just want to do a little something extra, this works great. And it is called Lumify, in case that is not focusing. Okay? Your other trick. One of the first places I learned a long time ago that we show our age is our neck and our décolleté. And so everything I do to my face, I do to my neck as far as skincare. But before I come on a live, I try to put a moisturizer on. This one is from City Beauty, and it is specific for your neck and décolleté. And what it does is it will soften the lines. It certainly isn't taking them away, but it softens the lines so that everything looks moist. And you'll notice that instantly that made a difference in my neck. And another thing that definitely changes the look of our face and gives us a little bit more of a youthful look is when we have our eyebrows done. And I did a video last evening. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my brush. I did a video last evening where I used the line brush, and I showed you how I simply did my brows, which are pretty much non-existent in this part of my face because we tweezed them all away. So if you missed that, make sure and go back and find that video that I did last evening so that you can see, because I found a trick through a fellow artist on how to make those brows last all day. So these were put on this morning. I simply touched up 2 little spots here, and it worked beautifully. And I do use the line brush for that. The other question that I had from last evening is I showed you this little demi palette. I believe there's another pattern. I don't know whether it's still available, but when you go on the Seint website, you want to go where it says palettes and carries, I believe, and go down to the demi palette. So this is what the demi palette looks like. Let me cover that up so you can't see that mirror. So what I've done is I put my brow wax in here. These are the 2 browns that I use for my eyebrows, okay? You can always go darker. So I start with the lightest one, and if I need a little bit more, I'll dip into this dark one. And then I've simply put in 2 basic eyeshadows. If I don't want a lot on my eyes, I can easily put those 2 in there. And these work beautifully. If you wanted to, instead of these two, you could move your eyeshadows down here and you could put your cleaning tile in there. So the cleaning tile is what many of us use in our palette right here to clean our brush off. So after we get done doing our eyes and maybe we want to go to a different color, we simply do this. And it's like a little scrubby thing in there. And that's the way you do it. So if you wanted to, you could actually move that one over into this little palette so that you've got, so this is kind of my eyebrow palette. I just put this together today because I wanted everything in one spot and I thought that worked great. I'm not hunting and pecking through. Plus, I'm the extra girl. I wanted to go back to my shadow palette and make sure that I had as many. These are my summer colors of eyeshadow. So in addition to the cleaning tile, I have 8 colors of eyeshadow. And I've got to tell you what this one is. I believe it's Starlit. This is actually an illuminator. And I use it all the time for my eyes. Let me put my glasses on so that I can see. And yes, it is Starlit. And what I love about Starlit, it almost has a holographic look to it. So no matter what color of shadow I put on, isn't that pretty? And I use such a little amount. I use it on the inner corner. You've seen me do it thousands of times. I'm going to do it for you again this evening. But it just adds a little bit of sparkle. And so no matter which of these shades I pick to put on, it seems to blend really, really well. And the fact that it's an illuminator, if I wanted to, I can also use it on the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, a teeny bit, underneath my eyebrow. There's other things that you can use an illuminator for. You know, as I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, I happened to notice that there's another makeup that someone anyway is advertising on Facebook, and it's got like a chart that's in the lid of the product so you know where to put it. We send you a basic starting off chart of where to put your product, but the best thing about Seint is that there are no rules. So I can open up my palette and I can pick up my bronzer right here, Bella bronzer, and I can use that as my eyeshadow. I can use my lip color as my cheek color, and I can also use my lip color as an eyeshadow, which I did this morning. It was my base. And I love doing that with eyeshadow because it gives me an option to be able to use a cream if I choose to use a cream. So I wanted to go back. I haven't shown you this for a long time. We have all kinds of palettes out there. This happens to be my favorite. This is my personal palette. This holds, this is called the 12. So it's a double decker. So you have an opening here. You've got a great mirror. Normally I don't show you the mirror because I don't want to blind you. But I can keep all of my creams on this level. So I am pretty anal, so I put my creams in order that I use them. So I start with my brightening shade, my main shade, can you see that? And then this is my contour. Up here, this is my bronzer, which is Bella bronzer. I have rose gold next to it, and La Cienega, which is my lip gloss that I keep in there. On the second level, this is where I keep all of my powders. I'm clumsy. If you watch me very often when I'm doing a live, I usually drop something. I drop a brush or whatever. I don't have the dexterity that I used to because I have some arthritis in my hands. And I know that one of these days I am going to drop this. I mean, I just dropped my favorite 10X mirror yesterday, and yep, it broke. So I know that that's me. And when these go down, they're probably going to break. And I don't want to have to dig them out of my creams. So that's the reason. Now, some people will even use a bigger palette than this, and you can. This is just plenty for me. on a normal day. I do have a glow kit that I put together, which we have talked about numerous times. And if you want more information, just comment the word glow down below. This is an easy palette to carry in my purse so that if I need to kind of touch up things during the day, I can. And it gives me that summer glow. Bella Bronzer is in there, so that's redundant of what I already have in my main palette, but that's okay. That one's going to go with me in my purse. Now, let me tell you a few other reasons that I like this particular palette. Because of this shiny surface, it's a lot easier to clean on the outside and on the inside. And this is the only one so far that I've seen that has a little bit of a lip. So it's very easy for me to open and close this particular palette because of that lip. Again, with dexterity issues, sometimes certain chores are more difficult than others. So I am going to chat with you for a little bit. I'm going to update my makeup. I zoom in so that you can see the difference in the whites of my eyes. Again, to me, it's amazing. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm thinking, oh, wow. And look how much more, now that the redness has calmed down on my neck, look how much nicer that looks because it's moistened and I'm not calling attention to the wrinkles. The wrinkles are still there. And I watch my lives back because I'm usually commenting on your comments. And so I see that I am showing age in my neck. I get it. I'm showing age everywhere, but I'm showing age in my neck, okay? And I am addressing that with something. So whatever you do for skincare, carry it down. Don't stop here. Carry it down and go down on your décolleté. Now, the other thing that I wanted to share with you really, really quick, as I'm putting a little bit of makeup on, and by the way, I am using the Shape brush, my new favorite. The other thing that really, this is so hard. One of the things that really shows age is our teeth. And as we get older, our teeth get yellow. There's no question about it. I'm a coffee drinker. My teeth show that I'm a coffee drinker. And so I want you to know that I'm going to be doing a review of a tooth whitening product. I'm not going to sell it. I am not going to sell it. I just want to try it for me. I have used the strips before and they're just gunky. I'm sorry. I have to talk myself into doing it. And normally when I do it for a week at a time. I normally do it when I'm logged in for the company that I retired from, when I'm working for them. If I'm working for a week, because it's easier for me to remember that I need to do it every day. So this is an ultraviolet light, in addition to some other products that we're going to use, and we're going to see. My teeth, you know, they're not bad as far as straightness, that type of thing. I have a little bit more gap before than I used to, but I definitely can tell a difference in the way my teeth look when I'm around a younger person. I mean, their teeth, I'm sorry, I got pretty teeth. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of contour here while we're doing this. And you'll notice that I'm not really doing any rhyme or reason. I'm just giving myself a little color, a little bit of extra. Love the Shape brush. Love it. Yesterday was the first time I got to use it. I don't think it's been out of my hands since. I used it last night. I'm using it again today. I mean, I just absolutely love it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of La Cienega on. La Cienega is a lip gloss and cheek color. So it has a little bit of glisten to it. I like the fact that it will moisten my lips. I don't need to move that much because when it's a gloss like that, you won't need to do much of anything. I'm going to take that Bella Bronzer, And I'm actually going to put a little bit on my eye for eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the cream using a small end of the shape brush. It's not too big that I can't not use it for that. Okay, since I already have creams in this brush, it's just as easy to use that. Then I'm going to flip to my eyeshadow, and I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow brush. So I told you these were my colors. These really are my colors. I mean, I'm in love with this summer palette, and normally, you know, I would have purchased a summer palette from Sephora or from Ulta when they had a sale, and I would only have used about 3 colors, and this gives me the option of being able to use every single color that's in there. I'm just taking another fluffy brush that I've had for years. All I'm doing is softening that color. That was Miha. So that adds a little bit of a pop of pink. I cleaned my brush off, and now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to go in to Starlit and only pop that on my lid with my finger, and I'm only going halfway in. Okay, I'm going to give myself a little bit of that glow at the top of my cheek, a little bit on my nose, on my brow bone up there. And actually, let me take the eyeshadow brush and put that on because I can get a little bit more direction there. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of lip gloss if I can find it. I like Buxom. I like that tingly feeling. And normally I put lip gloss only in the center of my lips and let that kind of go from there. And let me go over my face. And why do we go over our face with a beauty blender? It's because we want to remove excess product. And you'll notice I'm pushing. I want that product to go in, fill in the pores as much as it can. And I know this never shows up on camera, but it does for me. I have a large pore right here on this part of my nose. And I have to push so that I can actually fill that product in, and it just doesn't land in the wrinkles so much. Let me add just a little bit of mascara, and we're going to call it done. So I've given you a couple of things to think about to counteract the aging process. The biggest one that we didn't talk about is skincare. Because no matter what you use for cosmetics, you have to start with the base. So you got to have a good skin care regime. My husband was a builder in his professional life, and he could make houses look pretty. Any builder can make a house look pretty. It is what is underneath the drywall. It's all of that structural things that we have to do to make sure that it's lasting. So think of your skincare like that. You got to take care of what's underneath all the pretty colors. And when you take care of what's underneath all the pretty colors, your skin's going to glow. You're going to have that coloring back that maybe you have lost over time, and you're going to be totally amazed. So make sure that you're using a good skincare program. Doesn't mean all the products even need to come from the same system. But you need to find something where you're cleansing your face, you're exfoliating your face, and you're using some serums, and you may even want to consider retinol or tretinoin because that'll add some brightness to your face. And then keep in mind to make my eye whiter. Look at that. I mean, it's amazing. This one's got the drop in it. This one doesn't. Lumify, 1 drop. You'll get real good at putting these in by yourself. I've had to work on that, but really good. Okay, that's one thing. Moisturizing your neck. Make sure whatever you do to your face, you do to your neck and décolleté. And if you are on something, I know I have some people who are on camera all the time. And so you want to make sure that you are using some type of a neck cream that is geared for that, so that you, if you're wearing open top shirts like this, you want to make sure that you cover that. And let me see, what else did we talk about? Teeth whitening. I'm really anxious. I know it's shipped, and I'm anxious to get it back in, or to get it in so that I can try for the first time and let you know. But those are some of the things that I notice immediately when I'm looking at someone with their age. Dead giveaways: the whites of their eye, their neck, and their teeth color. So I'll let you know on the teeth color when that comes in. I hope I've given you a couple other things that you can put together. Think about your palettes. What's the best way for you to carry your palettes? You may be the person who is even more extra than me, and you need a lot more eyeshadows than this at your disposal. And so you're going to want to go to one of the bigger palettes. Or you're going to be one like, I just really want the 4 colors. Just give me the 4 colors. Okay, we'll give you the 4 colors, and we'll put them in a 4 like this. Or maybe you want to start out slow, and you want to start with the glow kit. And here's your glow kit. Some are in a box, some are in a palette right there, and gives you an opportunity to try the product, see once what the creams are. Because let me tell you, if you have not been using creams, you have missed out on one of the most exciting products that's out there. And I am so glad that I found it. I'm so glad that during the kerfluffle called COVID, that I was doing a lot of scrolling through YouTube, and I've landed on some people who were using this product, and every time I would look at them and say, they just can't look that good. They just can't look that good. Their skin can't look that good. So if you're interested in having your own personalized palette, comment the word match below. I will send you a form, and you'll need to just send me back a selfie. I even give you instructions in the form on how to take a selfie. Send that back within 24 hours. I will have your custom colors, and that's a free service. I simply send that back to you. You'll go on the website, place your order. Once the company notifies me that you have ordered, I then send you a couple more videos that I've put together that are only for my clients, and they're so that you can put your palette together. And there's another way to do an application, and I wanted to share that with you. Because again, there are no right, there are no wrong ways to put this on. You did not see me doing a numbering system tonight. You did not see me doing dots and stripes. I simply went in with my shape brush, picked it up out of my palette, and swirled it on my face. Now, if I were going out and if I wanted this to last for the day, I would definitely be setting this with a setting spray. And if it's too much glow for me, I would powder it down with a little bit of translucent powder. So thanks for joining me this evening. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that you have picked up on a couple of the tricks to not add to your age, but let's take away some of that. And if you have any questions, drop them below. I'll be happy to answer them later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.